I am truly touched, and it's a real privilege for me to be here with you this evening. Ça me fait tellement plaisir d'être parmi vous ce soir. C'est vraiment une grande honneur pour moi, une recognition très importante, et je l'apprécie beaucoup. What this honor represents is a culmination of a tremendous amount of work and, I think, courage and conviction, not really so much on my part, but on the part of all of those that we work with, and also the very many staff that we have throughout the world. War Child now, since our inception 20 years ago, we've grown a fair amount, which frankly I have mixed emotions about that kind of growth, because it also represents what's going on in the world. There is a lot more conflict, there is a lot more demand for what we're doing. We're working with more than 500,000 children and their families every year now, and I can tell you we are barely scratching the surface of the tremendous amount of need that takes place. We're in just shy of 10 different war-torn regions, but in fact there are more than 22 conflicts raging right now. We are facing the worst famine and refugee crisis since World War II. Right now we have more than 72 million people displaced from their homes, largely as a result of armed violence and climate change and poverty. And so the fact that we're working with 500,000 children is something that we as a team are very proud of, but we also recognize that we could multiply that by a factor of 10 and we still would have unfinished business throughout the world. I also am very privileged to work with a group of exceptional individuals, one of whom, Barbara Harmer, is here with me this evening. But we also have 600 staff throughout the world, 98% of whom are local. So they are coming from war zones. They are giving back to their communities. They are the ones directing and guiding our programs. And we draw our inspiration from them every single day. And so as humbled and appreciative as I am of this very wonderful gesture and recognition this evening, I accept it on behalf of those who are not standing on the stage with me tonight, but whose work is profound and really does deserve to be recognized. And I am here, I hope, to be able to acknowledge that and to celebrate that with all of you. I'm going to close because I know we're going to move to a more informal part of the conversation now, but I will sort of close by saying that you know, these days I'm often quite dismayed by where we are at as a global society. And I am concerned, actually, about the amount of rage and seemingly sustained intolerance that exists in our world right now, and that seems to be fueled and growing for a bunch of different reasons. Sometimes it's because of our access to technology and to instant messaging, and people with some fairly heinous views are able to disseminate those messages very quickly and without consequence, and it's very frightening. And sometimes, as we have witnessed recently, that rage and intolerance is even channeled by some of the most powerful leaders in the world, creating a space for people to do, I don't like to use the word unspeakable, because I actually think we should be speaking about these kinds of crimes and atrocities, but when people spread this kind of hate and fuel it, I see what happens throughout the world when we don't confront that and we don't see the warning signs. And unfortunately, it often, we recognize the dangers that are inherent in that kind of populism and ultranationalism and racism and white supremacy far too late. And we know what the consequences are. So with that, what I would say is what brings me hope, and the reason why I get out of bed every day, and certainly I hope will bring you some comfort as well, is that I firmly believe, after 25 years of going in and out of war zones, that we have to participate, and that we can participate in all that we wish to change in this world. Because what I have come to understand as a result of confronting this violence and losing some of my dear friends to it is that the good, frankly, doesn't happen without us, and the bad never seeks our permission. And as long as we remember that and continue to push forward and continue to be, I think, progressive, tolerant and inclusive voices in this world, we will be the ones who ultimately will stand in the way of that kind of anger and hatred. And that does bring me some comfort. So thank you very, very much. I'm really, I'm so pleased. There are a couple of other people I would like to give special thanks to. I do want to acknowledge the Loyola Alumni Founding Chapter, as well as Concordia University Alumni Association for this great honor, and the university too. It's just, I'm truly, truly honored tonight. Some specific individuals from the Loyola Medal Selection Committee, including John Limeburner, thank you very, very much, Sheila O'Neill, Honora Shaughnessy, and Don Taddeo. Thank you very, very much.